Kitchener-Conestoga.
Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Transportation. 2 weeks ago, the minister's refusal to address a long-simmering dispute of dump truck load restrictions spilled out along GTA highways over 3 days of a costly protest. For 3 days, the minister remained silent as highways jammed and aggregate pits were picketed, with motorists and truckers paying the price in time and long-delayed transport delivery. That's because after years of failing to address axle weight restrictions that had long been under a moratorium, instead of developing a solution with dump truck operators and contractors, this minister simply pulled the rug out and began issuing tickets. Speaker, now that the protest has forced an about-face, will the minister explain why, after his government's decade-plus of failure on load restrictions, we should believe talks he's now proposed are anything more than spinning the wheels?
Thank you. Minister of Transportation.
Thanks very much, Speaker. I guess I would begin by saying I suppose this question is better late than never, given that this issue was resolved a number of days ago. I had the opportunity, as did officials at the Ministry of Transportation, as in fact did a number of members of the Government Caucus. We had opportunities to speak with industry and to speak with those that were directly affected. It was important at all times, from my perspective, to make sure that the system continued to move, literally, Speaker, to make sure that jobs weren't put at risk, and to also make sure that we could continue to build out, as we are here in the province of Ontario, in the infrastructure realm. I will say that I have said to industry, and I look forward to the opportunity for us to sit down together and to continue to have a discussion to make sure that we can land in a spot that's appropriate, so that this vitally important industry, and I'm talking about the entire infrastructure spectrum here, Speaker, can continue to do its work, can continue to create jobs, and continue to work closely with us in building Ontario up. Thanks very much.
Supplementary.
Well, going back to the moratorium really isn't a solution or a fix whatsoever. In fact, this government has had over a decade to fix it. He, as minister himself, has had 2 years. And instead of brokering a solution, the best he came up with was to begin enforcement of a regulation he knew would put operators in violation. And then, when the impact of his decision played out in long, costly traffic delays stretching down the 401, he remained mute before finally taking back where we started. No solution, no timelines for a decision, no end in sight. Will the minister continue to kick the can down the road, or will he commit to ensuring promised talks with stakeholders lead to a permanent solution on this important load restriction?
Speaker, thank you very much, and again, I thank the member opposite for the follow-up question. I don't think anybody who knows me in this chamber or elsewhere would ever accuse me of being mute, Speaker. But I do appreciate the question. I will say, I feel on this matter that there's a twofold responsibility for the Ministry of Transportation. The first thing for me to consider at all times, of course, is to make sure that we maintain road and highway safety, and to make sure that our roads and highways right around the province that this government is investing in remain in good working order. So that's number one, Speaker. But at the same time, we want to make sure that everybody in the infrastructure spectrum that is so crucial to Ontario's economy can continue to function responsibly and safely and productively. That's the work that the Ministry of Transportation is currently involved in with this industry, and we'll continue to work hard on it until we get it right. Thanks very much, Speaker.